say. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace. None in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.
Hello, fight fans, and welcome. This is your one and only one-stop shop for anything New Frontier and its pre-show and its prediction show. And I never do this alone, as we all know. As you can see to the left or right of me, depending on which TV you're watching, I have the disdain and the displeasure of welcoming Adam Haze to the broadcast. Adam, thank you so much for joining me today here on the required parts of our contract. Again, I want to state that it's required. It's not done mandatory. It's required. I have to do it because the matchmaker pays me to do it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But again, welcome to the predictions and pre-show.
Nothing you say is going to bother me right now because we are just days away at this point from the biggest show potentially of New Frontier's history up until Immortality 2, which of course more details to follow when it comes to that. Of course, I'm talking about Moths into the Flame happening on April 7th. I cannot wait.
It's this 8th, actually, dude.
The 8th?
Yeah, the 8th.
Hold on. It's the 8th. Yeah, the limo, send it to the 8th.
What?
Yes, the 8 o'clock.
No, not 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's the 8th.
Yeah, got it. Hold on one second. Yeah, April 8th, 8 o'clock. Limo, yes. Skittles, all red.
What?
All red.
Who are you talking?
Thank you.
You
don't worry about it.
Ladies
Don't worry
and
about it.
gentlemen,
When you're from Oshawa, you have money. All right, let's just put it there, right there, off the bat. I just want to throw it out there to all my friends in Coburg and all my friends in Burlington, all my friends in Toronto, nobody in Hamilton, because I hate that city, that everyone in this entire province, in this country knows that if you want wealth to stain and you want everything sophistication, you go to the Schwa, baby. You go to the Schwa and you want great professional wrestling, you see New Frontier.
Are you serious right now? Are you picking up what
I am? New Frontier is one of the hottest promotions in all of Ontario and Canada. We know that.
I agree. That's the only thing that you said.
Then let's move on. Perfect.
No. Hold on. We have to address this now. Everything you said is a bunch of lies, a bunch of hearsay and nonsense. You go to Oshawa when you are looking for public housing or food stamps. That's when you go to Oshawa. You don't have money. There was nobody off camera that you were talking to. If anything, you're probably talking to your little son.
His name is Jeeves.
You were talking to your little son as he was winding up his pretend cars, and he probably has a casted limo there. Okay, nothing about what you said. You don't have money. You don't have clout. Nobody likes you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome officially now to Moths in the Flame. I'm going to mute your mic, I swear to God. Welcome to Moths in the Flame. This is the next New Frontier Pro show. We are both excited and ecstatic to be running down this card with you, talking about what we see. We got a couple great video packages that we're going to lay out for you. And of course, we want to talk about the Forbidden Door. We have to talk about the Forbidden Door. That's right. We have a Forbidden Door here in New Frontier, and we are bringing in some top-tier talent. How about the heavyweight champ from another organization? That's right. All the way from the UK side of things, ICW, the one, the only Buzzard, baby. And he's going to put his strap on the line against none other than the one, the only, the most amazing man in pro wrestling. That's right. I'm going to lay this out. So I got to lay it on so thick. I'm going to be like Haze when he's talking about Tarek. This man is without a shadow of a doubt the most amazing man ever. That's right. My man, El Diablo, Gabriel Furzea. Now, mind you, fun factoid, Gabriel Furzea has not had the best string of luck here in New Frontier.
That's
the last match that he had, he answered the Mark Ass Buster challenge, and it was a fantastic match, especially when he came this close to catching Haze and making him pay for all the smack he talks, because Haze can only talk smack when Tarek's whooping butt or whooping ass. But none other than that, Tarek reigns undefeated, much to my chagrin, but based on his talent alone, Haze.
So what you're saying is Tarek won that last match, right?
Yes, Haze. But again, nothing to do with you. Tarek's skill and ability won him that match. Haze has absolutely nothing to do with it. Tarek reigns undefeated, 7-0. Let's run the list, Haze. Go ahead and gloat. First match, who did Tarek face?
Well, that would be, of course, Tyler Aero, which we knocked his ass out, I would like to point out.
Why are you keep saying we? Tarek won. Next match, who did Tarek beat?
Well, let's see. That would be the King of the North, Carter Mason.
Tarek,
in the Schwa, I would like to add.
Tarek beat him. Next opponent.
Let's see. I believe we're going down the list here. There's been so many names now at this point. It's just
Regardless of the fact, Tarek is 7-0 to the credit of Tarek and Tarek alone. Now let's talk about this match behind me. That's right, Buzzard, ICW champ, is putting his title on the line against Gabriel Furzea. Now this match is interesting. Like I said, it's a forbidden door match, if you will. This is sharing of talent, defending that company's strap on foreign soil is pretty intriguing. And to say the least, the fact that New Frontier gets to highlight it and show it, it's absolutely incredible. When you run down the tape of both these guys, they're both athletic. I would give the strength advantage to Buzzard, just a little bit. And I would say the speed advantage is probably equal. I don't think there's any advantage in speed. I would say the cunning and the opportunistic advantage definitely goes to El Diablo, Gabriel Furzea. When it comes down to this, I'm going to lay out my pick. I cannot go with my boy Gabriel Furzea on this one. Buzzard will retain, and he will CW strap just because Buzzard has so much momentum on him. Do I think this match is going to be incredible? Absolutely. People may be wondering, why do you think this match is going to go first? I see it going first because you got to start off hot. If you're going to bring Moths to the flame, you got to make the flame burn. And there's no other match on the card other than this one that I think gets the flame burning white hot from the start. This match will be incredible. It'll be an athletic contest of pure power, speed, and agility. And I think Furzea will definitely get his opportunities, but I think Buzzard has too much passion and too much perseverance on his side to lose that title on foreign soil. And for that, I'm going to pick Buzzard to retain.
He's going to be mad at you for going against the devil. You preached for no. You preached for videos for months. You say you never bet against the devil. You never bet against the devil, and you did it. You finally did. You know why? Because he's on that losing streak. He lost against Tarek at the King of Combat tournament. He got his ass beat, son. And that's exactly what's going to happen in this matchup too. Leighton Buzzard is going to demolish El Diablo. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be a great competitive match, because it's going to be. I will say both athletes are incredible, and I am very excited to see this matchup. Am I a little disappointed that Leighton Buzzard decided out of the entire roster, including the 7-0 Tarek, that he could have chosen, he decided to go with a guy that lost at his last match? Clearly, he just wants to have an easy run for his ICW championship match here in New Frontier, but be that as it may. The fact of the matter is, Leighton Buzzard, Gabriel Furzea could be a great match, but we all know what the end result's going to be. And still champion, Leighton Buzzard.
Absolutely. Buzzard will retain. And like I said, you're right. I did say I never bet against the devil. I'm not betting against the devil because of his losing streak and the fact that New Frontier hasn't gone directly his way. I'm betting on him against because I know that Buzzard is not. You're going to have to kill Buzzard. You're going to have to stop Buzzard's heart in order for him to lose that strap on foreign soil. The fact is there's no way in hell a champion from another organization is going to drop the title or going to potentially lose the title anywhere but on home field advantage. That's why. That's the only reason.
Fair enough.
This one is interesting. Before we get into this match, I definitely want to throw to the video package that we have, because we have package kind of explaining, or our best version of how to explain, the father Isaiah Bronson. This man is unhinged. He is, to say the least, Haze with more skill and ability, but just crazy, absolutely crazy. And he's going one-on-one against one of the men he tried to unmask, and that is Guerrero Seya. Let's throw the video package and we can tell you guys on how all of this unfolded leading up to this one-on-one contest at Moth of the Flame. Check it out.
I understand. I completely understand. I understand your hesitation. I understand that the greater good is often very difficult to identify because it's masked by necessary evil. And I am not evil. Hundreds of Mexican luchadors and Mexicans cross our borders every year. They come into our country and they take advantage of our tax system. I take that personally because I came to this country legally. My government transferred me here because they didn't want to support a poor orphan. And I made myself into everything I am. I wear every single chain even when I'm in my house, and remind myself just how far I've come. I am very much a product that is self-made. These Mexican luchadors, they're self-made. They take advantage of our welfare system, our healthcare system. They look for people like you and I to support them. Guerrero, Seya, and the other Mexican luchadors are going to find out exactly what happens when they mess with father and his children. So put your fat little fingers together, buy one of father's t-shirts, and cheer for the good guy. Because father knows best.
Well, to say the least, there's a lot of hatred there, and a lot of hatred on Isaiah Bronson's part. Now, let me ask you this, Haze, because all the crap aside, you do have some insight into the inner workings of someone who is absolutely crazy. The fact is that Isaiah Bronson, as I said in the beginning, is unhinged. This is a man, for some reason, who's got I don't know how to word it properly, but he's got a vendetta. There's the word. A vendetta against anyone that's representing or wearing a mask or comes from a part of the world where masks are a part of who they are, part of the culture in the wrestling world. Why do you think he has this weird obsession with lucha libres and trying to unmask them?
I think that Isaiah Bronson, the father, has a vision. He has a vision in his mind of what he perceives the world should be like. We should all see each other's face. We should all be able to read our emotions. We should all be able to look them dead in the eye and see them for the man that they are or the coward that they are. And Isaiah Bronson, from what I've seen over the last several months, because he has been targeting the Lucha Libre stars for forever at this point here at New Frontier. And finally, we've been wanting a one-on-one matchup, Isaiah Bronson, to see him in the ring, to see what he's got, what he can do. He was supposed to be in the King of Combat tournament and just didn't show up for it, but magically was there to take the mask, as we saw, of Guerrero Seya. Look, I think that regardless of how this match ends, whether he wins or whether he loses, I don't think he really cares. I think it's all about how he ends the night. And I think he is going to stop at nothing to take that mask from Guerrero Seya one more time and make him the coward that he thinks that he is, and make him bend to the knee of the father, Isaiah Bronson.
Very good insight. Well, you know what they say, it takes crazy to know crazy, and that's why you have the insight that you have. Now, regardless of the fact, who's your pick on this one? Obviously, sounds like from the statement that you just made, very boldly, might I add, you are putting all of your chips, or you're going all in, despite the pun, on Isaiah Bronson. Would I be correct in that?
You know what? I think I am on this one, only because of the fact that the mental game in professional wrestling is underrated. Nobody gives it enough credit that credit deserves. You can have all the stats, you can have the height, the speed, the strength, the reach, everything else, the experience. The moment you start getting inside somebody's head, you won half the battle. Guerrero Seya is going to be coming out there with piss and vinegar, fire in his veins, going out there, avenging the embarrassment that happened to him in January. And that's exactly where Isaiah Bronson wants him. He wants him at the palm of his hand.
I said tried to unmask. He did unmask him, but he never revealed his face. Luckily enough, officials came out and were able to stop the reveal of the face. So the fact is, Isaiah Bronson didn't get the end game that he was hoping for back in January. He did not.
But in a grudge match, in a sanctioned matchup here at New Frontier, where, of course, the rules of the matchmaker are giving that no disqualification vibe, where pretty much a lot of things are more legal than in most professional wrestling companies, that gives Isaiah a little bit more leeway and a little bit more freedom to take advantage of the situation if it poses itself and if it provides itself to him. So because of that, Isaiah Bronson for the win.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to agree with you, and it's not because I never agree with you. It's because of the simple fact that I think you're right. The mental game is there. Isaiah Bronson's renting space in Guerrero's head. But I also think that Guerrero is one of the few talents where it's underrated. Keeping your emotions in check is underrated in pro wrestling, because a lot of people think emotions get the best of them. But I believe that Guerrero Seya, as emotional as he is in wanting to avenge what almost happened in January. Again, I state almost because the face was not revealed. The fact is, Guerrero Seya has a point to prove, and I believe that he will lay the father down. I've stated in numerous facts, I don't respect the father. I don't respect this weird crusade that he's on. I don't care much for who he is or what he stands for. The fact is that the man's unhinged. If I was the matchmaker, and I'm speaking to the matchmaker directly right now, if I was the matchmaker, I would have an insane asylum on stamp. Not you. You'll never be the matchmaker. Please, I wouldn't take money from you if you... I don't know. I would never take money from you. Anyways, the fact is, if I was the matchmaker, I would have an insane asylum with its nurses and its security waiting outside to strap this man into a straitjacket and send him packing where you would eventually be his cellmate, Haze. That's what I would do. So regardless of the fact, I am sticking to my pick, in my opinion, and I think Guerrero Seya will avenge what almost, again, I state almost happened in January. So we are divided on this one, but it's not surprising. I'm surprised that we both agreed on the first one. But again, we're divided on this one. Let's move on now, shall we? Again, this is the match card as I see it, not as I think it's going to be laid out, but as I see it. Now, this is an odd one. This is the Collective. That's right. Freedom Wallace's faction, if you will, made up of Sonny Z, made up of Clay Wilson, made up of a lot of impressive talent in New Frontier. He recruited some of the best in terms of talking, wrestling ability, and the fact that they really are the ring generals of New Frontier. I will say that out loud. These guys have ring IQ off the charts, but they're going up against the rather unorthodox, rather unhinged, rather bloody, violent, all kinds of stuff that I mean, you really can't say on TV. They're just crazy. They're crazy, but crazy in a fun way. And they're in
I thought you were going to say they're crazy in love. Exactly.
Well, they are crazy in love, and they're crazy together as well. You have the unhinged, unorthodox, My Hardcore Romance. That's right. The husband and wife team of Jesse Mack and Matt Cash going up against Freedom Wallace, Clay Wilson, Quebec's favorite son of the Collective. Now, looking at the tail of the tape on this one, again, ring IQ goes to the Collective. Speed and agility goes to the Collective. Power, I'll give it to Matt Cash on that one. Out of everyone here, he's definitely the strongest. Punishment taking and ability to absorb a lot of it and then dish a lot of it out, My Hardcore Romance has that in spades. It doesn't matter what is out there. If there's a weapon, a trash can full of goodies under the ring, My Hardcore Romance will use every part of that ring and what's underneath it as a weapon. And again, in New Frontier, weapons are encouraged as long as they're not stabbing weapons. As long as you're not puncturing anything, you can cut someone open if you hit them over the head with a chair. But make sure the chair doesn't have any sharp edges. That's how we do things in New Frontier. We make things special. We give you blood, violence, and a little bit of laughs and heartwarming tales in the end. And we also give you a lot of hot air and baloney that comes from Adam Haze's mouth. Haze, who you choosing on this one?
Well, this is not going to be hot air or baloney with this pick that I make. First of all, you forgot to mention a very big key factor in this tag match.
What's that?
Freedom Wallace has been gone for months.
He's been recruiting.
Months. He has been out there. He's been scouring the globe. He's been, taking it in around and being able to see who around the world is ready to join the Collective. Now, of course, Sonny Z, Clay Wilson have done a pretty good job representing the Collective, getting a win back in October. But since then, we have not seen Sonny Z. Clay Wilson has not really been active here in New Frontier. So it's going to be interesting to see the chemistry of now Freedom Wallace coming back to lead the charge with Clay Wilson with no Sonny Z by their side. Jesse Mack and Matt Cash are just ridiculous. I mean, I've known these guys for a long, long time. And yeah, they like punishment. They like violence. They like being able to drink a beer, spit in the opponent's face, and have a good laugh about it later on. And then, probably make out on the apron if they wanted to. The fact of the matter is, Matt Cash, Jesse Mack, while they got the chemistry, while they got the ability as being together all the time, I'm going to call a spade here. They're not professional wrestlers. They're not real wrestlers. Clay Wilson, Freedom Wallace, you're my pick to win this one.
Wow, that's bold. And I hope there's a trash can lid waiting in your near future. Or a kendo stick, or, anything that would come to hurting you. I would enjoy, in fact, I'm going to issue an open challenge right now to anyone in the New Frontier locker room. If you hit Adam Haze with any weapon at Moths to the Flame, I will forever be in your debt. I will bring coffee to the show.
That means nothing.
I will pick up your laundry. I will be sure to be your personal assistant while the shows are running. I have no problem with that, because to see blood pour out of the head of this man, infected blood, mind you, because he was born in Oshawa, the blood is actually a shared chromosome between family members, because they like to keep everything inside the family.
Well, you just move on with the show and make a pick.
I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Time is on the essence here, all right?
Is it? Spell essence. Spell essence, and then I'll move on.
ESSENCE.
My pick for this will be the Collective. Not because Adam Haze picked it, but because I think the rather unorthodox style of Matt Cash and Jesse Mack might very well be their undoing. While they are in love, while they are in unison, while they are in harmony, the fact is, business and family never mix. And when you're in a ring, especially a New Frontier ring, you have to be about business, as in getting the job done. And I believe that the Collective knows how to get the job done. Clay Wilsaw knows how to take a back seat. Freedom Wallace knows how to lead. The IQ of these two men are incredible. And the fact is, the Collective will win, but they definitely will win with some battle scars left behind. That's for sure. My hardcore romance is going to make them earn that W, and I can say that much. Moving on. Ooh, man. All right. You want to talk about bad blood? You want to talk about hatred? I was building, Haze. I was building. You want to talk about two men who literally want to put the other down to a point where one of them could possibly lose their lives? Then this is the match you're looking at. I believe we have a video package for this one as well, right, Haze?
I believe so.
All right, well, let's, without further ado, let's get to the video package and show you how this feud, of all feuds, is probably the hottest feud in New Frontier, began. Check this out.
Between you and I, Tyler, do you have a fantasy? You're nothing more than a garbage wrestler. You can't hack it with pros like myself. But when it comes to pro wrestling, you're nothing.
It's a very,
Woo! Let me tell you something. You look at Tyler Hill, you look at Rip Impact, you look at the same match that we were just talking about. One is very unorthodox. One, again, is no longer deathmatch wrestling, but one guy who knows how to take a lot of punishment, but also dish it out. Tyler Hill's wrestling IQ and his ability is underrated. Just because you can hit someone over the head with a weapon doesn't mean you can't put them down in a million other ways. But then again, you talk about ring IQ and awareness, talk about Rip Impact. This man could be blind with pink eye, missing one eye, with fog in front of him, and still be able to pinpoint you in any part of that ring at any given moment during a match. This one's really hard to call up or down. This one's really hard to pick. What were you going to say? What were you going to say? Yes, I quoted.
I was going to say, no, I was going to say it sounded like we just walked into a Silent Hill game, but go ahead, please.
No, I quoted Family Guy, remember? Sure, I had pink eye and my one eye's glass, but I see that fish. Come on. Anyways, the fact is when you look at this match, you might think, George, he's going to go Rip Impact's way. You know what? No, Rip Impact has changed who he is in New Frontier. He went on a little bit of a losing streak. He didn't get a chance to become the first inaugural brand champion. So the fact is, Rip Impact's bitter. And I think his emotions and bitterness is being his undoing right now. The fact is, I'm going to give this one to Tyler Hill. I think Tyler Hill in New Frontier, he's got a point to prove. Since losing to Jesse Amato in that no rope barbed wire match, then uniting with Jesse Amato for a common enemy. The fact is that Tyler Hill, he just built different, man. And he's built different in the best way possible. I feel like Rip Impact will underestimate Tyler Hill, and that'll give Hill the ability to win this match. So I'm picking Tyler Hill for this one.
Look, I'm not going to deny the fact that Tyler Hill is not an outstanding athlete. He is an underrated athlete. And a lot of people don't see that when they look at a guy like Tyler Hill. The man's got a gas tank on him. That is very underrated. He has the ability to wrestle in all different styles. But I feel like we've had this conversation with it before, and I've also mentioned all these same accolades and all these different things about Rip Impact. The Rip Impact who is able to not only go into the ring for an hour, 2 hours if he wanted to, and not feel blown up. A man that can wrestle literally all styles. I call people hybrid athletes. Rip Impact is one of those people. He can do the high fly. He can do the lucha libre. He can do a little bit of power if he wants to. He can mat game. He could hardcore. He can do whatever the style requires him to do. And it's because of that style that helped him win the King of Combat tournament. Whatever finish you want to dispute or not between the two of these two, which of course was the finals of the tournament back in January, the fact of the matter is that Rip Impact has always been one up on Tyler Hill. From October, from January, and I think in April, in a few days, it's going to be the same way again. Rip Impact is going to take his earned #1 contendership that he earned in January and will walk his ass into Immortality 2 and take what he believes should have been his at Immortality 1, and that's the Grand Championship.
I'm soaking it in for a second, and I disagree.
I know. I'm so great at talking. It's so cool.
Moving
right?
on.
Like, oh my God.
Wow. Let's talk about settling scores. And then let's talk about doors. And then let's talk about there are doors to settle the scores. I mean, it really rolls off the tongue.
I see what you did there.
It's a little on the nose, I know. You got two teams. You got Tyler Aero, or Team Aero, if you will. He's the leader of his team. And you got PD Skills. And he's leading Team Skills. Now, this is a grudge match. These two men hate each other. Skills and Aero, once a united friendship, became bitter enemies when that man right there, PD Skills, attacked Tyler Aero's best friend, brother, and tag team partner, Mike Forte. This led all to this. So let's run down the list. Team Aero, of course, you got Tyler Aero. You got his best friend, Mike Forte, who has been cleared by the New Frontier doctors after that vicious attack by PD Skills months ago to come back into this match. And what a match to be cleared for. You're going to be cleared just to possibly go on the shelf again. Dangerous, dangerous tactic. And then you've got the bloodstained hurricane, Jesse Amato. This is a man who knows how to put himself through a door and put a lot of people through a door as well. Jesse Amato is no stranger to doors and going through them, both physically and metaphorically. And then you talk about a man who's on a crusade. A one-man crusade, and he's got a score to settle as well. That's right, he's got a score to settle with an opponent on PD Skills' team. That's right, Mark Shaw used to be tag team partners, used to be the Road to Valhalla, actually won a chance for a tournament we had a while ago to take on Tarek and Stevie Ray. That match, unfortunately, never happened. But they won it. And then what happened? Mark Shaw turned his back on Vander. Like he was nothing. Like he was a piece of garbage. Like he was somebody born and raised in Oshawa. Just really destroyed him. And then you talk about unorthodox. PD Skills' team is filled with unorthodox. You got that Kyle, who was or wasn't, possibly might be PD Skills' illegitimate bastard son. And then, of course, you have the leader of Empire, Matt Grant, the promo paragon, the standard. This man, he's always got something to prove. But the funny thing is that Matt Grant can prove it on a Wednesday, on a Tuesday, on a Monday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, and on a Sunday. Matt Grant is the standard in pro wrestling when it comes to having a ring IQ that I have never seen before. It's off the charts. Matt Grant knows how to rent space in anybody's head in that given match. Not after, not before, but just in the moment. And that's a very, very cool skill to have. And then you've got the leader, PD Skills. I mean, what can he say about PD Skills that hasn't already been said? He smoked everything under the sun, both metaphorically and physically. And the fact is that PD Skills is so unhinged in a lot of ways, it's almost disturbing. What he did to Airstrike, what he did to Mike Forte, should have been arrested. But we don't do that. We don't do things like that in New Frontier. No, what we do is we give 8 men the ability to kill each other. But hey, that's entertainment for you. Now, when you look at these...
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be great. This match is going to be a barn burner, to say the least. When you look at these two teams, you look at the emotions that's running high. You look at how they're built. Haze, I'm going to throw to you. all your crap aside and all the history that you have with some of these men, let's remember we're journalists at the end of the day. We are the voices of New Frontier. What do you consider to be the deciding factor in which team wins, and which team are you picking?
Tough call. Been thinking about this one for weeks and weeks since the lead up and the build to this amazing show is going to transpire at the Kobe Community Center. There is still so much that needs to be discovered between the feud between Mark Shaw and Vandercruz that we still don't know why. We know why that Kyle likes to hang around PD Skills, because quite frankly, he has daddy issues and he feels a little bit closer to him. And quite frankly, poor PD Skills are having to put up with that. Matthew Grant, you already said it yourself, a master manipulator. He leads the Empire. He's very good at playing chess when a lot of people play checkers. And he's very swarmy at that too. The other team, Jesse Amato, we've seen him time after time with these big high match situations has not come up and delivered the way that he needs to. And of course, Airstrike,
Get your English.
possibly. Sorry?
Well, the fact that you stumbled over your words. I mean, as a journalist, you have to project and you have
And
to...
Airstrike is probably one of the greatest tag teams in all of New Frontier that hasn't really got a chance to be able to showcase that. And I think that they're going to for this one. My bold prediction is I'm going to go with the team of Team Aero for this one. Because you got that tag team continuity between Aero and Forte. You have the vengeance that both those men have after being knocked out in different scenarios thanks to PD Skills. You have Jesse Amato, who is coming after what happened to him and, of course, Aiden Prince back in January, and wants to be able to show, no, I'm not anybody's bitch. I'm not going to be laid out flat and just be forgot about in the first round of a tournament. I'm going to come in here, balls to the wall, and I'm going to be able to prove why I'm the Bloodstained Hurricane. And Josh Vandercruz is going to be able to take that emotion and is going to try to hammer the hell out of his former friend, Mark Shaw. So you know what? I'm going to give it to two best friends finally colliding in the ring as a team for the first time, and two best friends that it should be featured more as a tag team in this world in Airstrike. I'm going to go with Team Aero to win this thing and just put the others through doors. Is it going to really settle the score? I don't know, but it's a hell of a great tagline, and we'll have to see what happens in April.
Absolutely. Listen, I agree with a lot of things you said, but as per usual, and this may shock some people, I'm flipping the script. That's right. I am not going where I would normally go. Airstrike, love him. Jesse Amato, I respect the hell out of him. Josh Vandercruz, I respect the hell out of him, and I appreciate his ability. But the fact is, PD Skills, Mark Shaw, that Kyle, Matt Grant. You're talking about the ultimate chess team. That's right. You've got Matt Grant, who can move the board any which way he desires. You got that Kyle, who's unhinged. Yeah, he took a loss to Tyler Aero. But the fact is that Aero used him as a punching bag, and that Kyle's not going to let that stand. Then you got PD Skills, who literally almost ripped apart a tag team and shelved them permanently after the vicious attack on Mike Forte. And then you got Mark Shaw. He's the grinder. The dude's always been in it for himself. He doesn't care about anybody. The unity and the friendship between him and Vandercruz was a means to an end. Mark Shaw had enough, and he said, I don't need to ride somebody's coattails. I don't need to have somebody beside me. I'm going to grind my way to the top the only way I know how. Boots to faces, fists to asses. That's what Mark Shaw does. Straight and simple. Mark Shaw will beat your ass, ask you to say thank you to him for beating your ass, and then continue to whoop it. So PD Skills, Team Skills, I'm picking these guys for the win. They have so much space being rented in everybody else's head that they're staring across the ring. They're going to put Team Aero through some doors, and very quickly, might I add. So Team Skills for the win on this one, straight up. Straight up.
All right.
Moving on. Oh, ho, ho. Well, you can't talk New Frontier without its grand champion, and you can't talk the grand champion without mentioning that beast right there, Craneo X. And he's going up. He's putting his grand championship on the line against the Flatliner, Matt Birds. This one has got the makings of match of the night, in my honest opinion. Doors to sell the scores will be the match that everyone remembers. But this one technically will be the match of the night because Radio X, he's not even in the same ballpark as a flatliner. Straight up. I'm saying it right now. Craneo X may be the champion, and he gets you in a corner, he can destroy you. But the flatliner, the speed on this guy, the high flying ability, the agility, if he's given room to run, the flatliner is going to do some damage. I'm calling it right now. Craneo X, he's not keeping that championship. I think we're going to have a new champion. That's right. I think the flatliner is going to take this one, and he's going to become the new Frontier Grand Champion. That's right. I don't care. I'm tired of seeing Craneo X. I'm tired of seeing you beside Tarek like you did something. I'm tired of a lot of things in New Frontier got to change. So I think a new champion is exactly what we need as we head into the summer. As we go into immortality, we need somebody fresh holding that strap. So I'm going with the flatliner on this one.
I'm going to make this short. I'm going to make this sweet. Matt Burns, I've respected for a long time, of course, as a tag team of the Flatliners, one of the most decorated tag teams in Canada at one point. He decided to step away from the ring. He is making his triumphant return to professional wrestling and has decided to enter New Frontier with an open contract. And the only one that was willing and able to fight Craneo X is a guy that's coming into the company for his first night. So that tells me a couple of things. Number one, this roster that we currently have don't want none of Craneo X because they've seen the punishment, they've seen the torment that he has laid on that locker room time after time after time again.
Why doesn't Tarek accept the chat? Tarek could. He's undefeated. He's undefeated. Your boy.
We're not talking about Tarek right now.
Yeah, but
we're talking about this matchup.
But he's
so let me no.
No, he's a member of the roster. No, listen, you laid it out. Your big mouth flapped, and you just wrote a check your ass can't cash. You said the New Frontier roster doesn't want none of Craneo X. That means Tarek doesn't want none of Craneo X. Is your boy scared? Because he's a member of the New Frontier roster, Haze.
Look,
so
Tarek,
don't say things like that.
Yeah,
if
look.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Tarek will be champion one day when the time is right. And right now, the time is not right. Matt Burns, I respect the fact that you're coming back. I have been a fan of yours for a very long time. I think you're an idiot, though, to walk into New Frontier, Moths into the Flame in your first match back and to challenge Craneo X. Go back and watch some tapes. Go back on the Fight Network and watch some of that footage of what Craneo X has done to everybody he's been in the ring with. He has made a mockery of the roster that he's been in the ring with. And he's going to do the same thing to you. World Championship or not, there's only one outcome that is going to remain the same. The Walking Tyrant walks in and walks out into Immortality 2, still the Grand Champion. Enough said.
What was that? Like, what?
Enough said. Just enough said. Wash my hands. Enough said.
All right, there. Bring it on, Spirit Fingers. Relax yourself. Moving on. Match of the night. Could be, possibly, maybe. Tarek returns with a Mark-ass Buster challenge. Now, here's the thing. This is a man who apparently is not a member of the New Frontier roster because, you know, I mean, he doesn't want Craneo X. I mean, he can. At any time, he can beat him, but yet won't answer the challenge.
It's true. You could beat him anytime. Well, that is true.
He should have stepped up. Matt Burns didn't have to get a title shot in his first night, but the matchmaker saw something special in the flatliner. That's all I'm going to say there. But regardless of the fact, this man is without a doubt a wrestling god.
Ooh.
And knows how to chop a tree down with his bare hands because he could chop, punch, kick you all over the damn place. And you know what?
Everybody.
His stamina. Okay, just shut up for a second.
Talk Tarek to me. This is great. Talk Tarek to me.
Stamina is unmatched. His in-ring IQ is unmatched. His ability to decimate a human being with his body is unmatched. And if he is a wrestling god, then unfortunately, I am in the presence of the voice of God. Because Adam Haze.
Oh, I like that. I like
Adam
that.
Haze.
I might have to take that. I like that.
Yeah, of course you would. Adam Haze speaks on behalf of the wrestling god that is punch, kick, chop, Tarek. Now, if you're asking me who's going to answer the Mark-ass Buster challenge, I honestly and truly don't know. Because with everyone in the New Frontier roster pretty much on the card right now, there's only a few names that come to mind, and they would all have to have been greenlit by the matchmaker. The matchmaker knows how to make people walk through the door. He knows how to give us something incredible, but I don't know. I don't know if installment 8 of the Mark Buster Challenge will happen, just because I don't know who's going to answer it. But if I had to lay my pick, I'm sure there's a lot of people in Ontario, a lot of up-and-comers, a lot of veterans in Ontario that would love to take Tarek down a peg or two. And in the process, slap the voice of God. God knows I would. Believe me, I would. And if the matchmaker would allow me to, without fear of this man calling the police, I would have slapped him shows ago. Regardless of the fact, I can't tell you who's going to answer the Mark Buster Challenge because I just don't know. And every time I've kind of been privy to it, it hasn't gone well. So I'm going to say that Tarek's going to win if someone does answer the challenge, But Tarek's going to win on her own measure, his own skill. And it has nothing to do with the idiot in the corner behind him. Go ahead.
First of all, that's me in the corner. So I don't think you're really deciding to call me an idiot. You've made fun of me the whole show. Yes, I get that, but at the same time,
you're an idiot.
How could I be the idiot if I am the voice of God? Like, how?
You're only the
voice of God
by association, and I gave you that nickname. Don't even try to turn it around.
Oh, and it's wonderful. I'm going to put on a t-shirt. I'm going to make money off you so fast. Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Tarek, I've already spent a little bit of money on myself, by the way, for this. I would like myself now, if I can, to pitch to a beautiful highlight package of Tarek decimating everybody. So, without further ado, Mr. Editor, please.
Buster Challenge. You bring somebody out, and I will end with you.
The future of this business, Tarek!
No man, no woman, no child will beat you in open challenge. That is a fact.
It's a very, very
Oh, beautiful. It was wonderful. Look at that. You put a cherry on top right there. Look, I get it. There's a lot of people that want to test their might. They want to show their skills, and the best way to do it is to wrestle Tarek. But the fact of the matter is this. Tarek has decimated everyone he's been in the ring with. Punch, kick, chop is not a gimmick. It's not a catchphrase. It is legit. Coburg is about to witness a god in that ring. They are about to witness the smack, the chop, the punches that sound and echo and resonate throughout that building. They're going to be talking about this until they're in their 80s. They're going to be telling their grandchildren about the night that Tarek came to town in Coburg for the first time at Moss into the Flame. So I beg anybody to step up to this challenge. Anybody at all. It could be anybody on this roster at this point. It wouldn't matter. It would always end the same way.
That everyone on the roster is in the card already.
Yeah. And you know what? Even people outside of the roster who had the opportunity to wrestle him, aka Leighton Buzzard, who should have taken this opportunity, didn't, because they knew that they would get an L in their column. So the fact of the matter is, Tarek, all day, every day, and twice on Saturday if he needs to, because he's done it once before, Tarek is going to walk away your undefeated hero and your god of New Frontier Pro. Beautiful. It has been spoken.
I really wish I wasn't a wizard with words, because I would have never came up with any of that. Regardless of the fact, I do believe that Tarek will win this installment of the Mark Buster Challenge. But it is intriguing that the big mouth to my left mentioned Leighton Buzzard, because if Tarek's done 2 matches, why couldn't Leighton? And I'm sure he's not going to take too kindly to your comments. That's for sure. Your big talk when you're safely in front of a computer screen, but when you're at the venue, I've seen you change your tune. Actually, I've seen the floor underneath you get wet as you've soiled yourself. Yeah, that's right. Let's talk about that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as my co-host goes off to get the pens in any local Shoppers Drug Mart and freshens up his toupee, we will say goodbye as we wrap up another predictions and discussion show here for New Frontier Moss of the Flame. Tickets are still available for April 8th in Coburg, but you definitely definitely want to get your hand on some tickets now, because from what I understand from the matchmaker, as he advised me earlier this morning, tickets are literally flying out the door. So if you don't want to miss all the action that we're talking about, and you want to be in a place that's clean, fresh air, and beautiful, and you have to hold your breath through Oshawa as you get there, Coburg is definitely the place you want to go. And as Haze apparently rents his limo, which will most likely be his grandmother's Volvo, peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.